guys, today we are going to be finally talking about the new Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson collab. I'm so excited. I just got back from the crazy Morphe store. It was madness, let me just tell you that. There were so many people. I mean, I guess I should have expected that, but there were just so many people. But I did manage to get a hold of everything I wanted to get and I'm so excited. I can't wait to dig into all of this. I ended up getting the Conspiracy palette. I got one of the makeup bags, which is actually really nice. Like, the quality of this seems amazing. I'm not going to like do a review on a makeup bag because I'm sure nobody really cares. But I also got the mini conspiracy or mini controversy palette. I don't know why I keep calling this a mini conspiracy palette, probably because like the jawbreaker and the mini breaker, you know what I mean? But I did get this palette. I'm going to do a separate video with this, and I'm also going to do a separate video with the lip bundle. They didn't actually sell like the lipsticks as a bundle, so I just had to buy them all individually, and my mini palette just fell. But on my lips right now, I'm actually wearing Are You Filming? And I think this is such a beautiful red. I'm so happy I picked this up. But for today's video, we are just going to be focusing on the Conspiracy palette, which I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm going to open this up. Hopefully it's intact. So let's just do this together and see what the palette looks like. Oh my god, I'm just so excited right now. I'm so excited. This looks so cool. I will admit, when they were showing like the part where they were picking out the packaging, I was like, ugh, please not another like bulky package. But you know what? This is kind of fun and it is kind of cool. And it does fit Jeffree's brand very well, even though it's not like my favorite kind of packaging because it is just a little bit bulky, but it's beautiful. It's really well made. I love the kind of contrast between like the shininess and the matte. I think that's so cool, and I just like this palette a lot. So I'm really excited. Let's open it up. So it has two clasps on it, and hopefully the shadows are going to look perfect. And they do! Look at it! Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited, you guys. Shut up! Oh my god, my dog. He's crazy sometimes. I feel like there was probably someone at the door. It must have been like an Amazon package or something. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at these swatches now. I felt like all of the swatches swatched amazingly. Honestly, the mattes felt so smooth, so creamy, so buttery, so buildable. I'm really excited to see how they're going to perform on the eyes, but like from the swatches, I am kind of mind blown because a lot of the time like palettes will not swatch that great, but they'll perform great on the eyes. But I feel like by now I can usually tell from a swatch whether or not they're going to be well performing shadows, and I really feel like these are going to be great. So I'm really excited to try them out. Unfortunately, this palette does seem to be sold out everywhere at the time of me filming this, which is noon, so 2 hours after it launched, which is crazy. It does cost $52 if you're wondering for next time, if you maybe missed out this round. That's the cost of the palette, so it is a pretty expensive palette, so if you didn't get your hands on it, it's probably nice to be able to watch some reviews first anyway. So that's basically what I'm going to do in this video. Now, this isn't going to be a review, this is a first impression. I'm also going to have a Telic One palette video up with this probably within a week or so. If you want to see some other ones that I've done, I'll link those down in my description box because I do a lot of these with my Jeffree Star palette. So let's go ahead and try this on the eyes because I can't wait. I'm gonna prime my eyes with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base like I always do. So I would like to use as many shades as I can in my first impression here, just so we can, you know, test out a lot of these. So I'm first gonna go into Cheese Dust, which is the orange shade right here. This is one of the ones that have a pig on it. It's just so cute. And I'm gonna go ahead and place that in the first third or so of my crease, and then I think I'm gonna move into some of the more like pink and burgundy shades, and then I might use the black to deepen this up with. I haven't really decided yet, but we're just gonna take it one shadow at a time, and I feel like my lip is not going to go with the end result here, but that's fine. Maybe I'll just put on one of the other ones. But this shadow is laying down very well. It's not like the most pigmented thing straight off the bat, but it's very buildable, which does mean that the shadow is, you know, a little bit easier to work with. Next up, to kind of transition into another shade here, I'm gonna go into this one, which is called Flaming Hot. There's like a little bit of kick up in the pan here, but I probably dipped my brush in it a little bit too heavy, so just be a little bit careful if you don't like kick up in your palettes. But I'm gonna go ahead and place that in the middle of my crease here. And then I think on the outer part of my eye, I'm gonna go in with the kind of purpley shade. So I'm just blending these two colors gently in together here. And also, can we just take a second to like admire my pig earrings? I don't feel like there has ever been an appropriate time to wear pig earrings except for now. And I've had these for probably, I don't even know, 10 years maybe. And I've worn them probably 3 times. So I feel like it's a good time to pull them out again. I don't even remember where I got them, but if I can find them, I will link them in my description box, but they're probably not available anymore, but they're pretty cute. And this shadow is also laying down absolutely beautifully. Just making sure I'm kind of blending out the edges as I go here so I don't have to go back and forth too many times, but everything is just laying down and blending out wonderfully. And then for the outer portion of my eye here, I'm going to take Not a Fact, which is probably one of my favorite shades in this palette. Just like looking at it, I just love the tone of this. And I'm going to first start by packing it in the outer corner of my eye here and then just kind of connecting it with that color that I have in my crease. I'm not sure yet what I want to do on my lower lash line, so I'm just going to kind of keep my options open in case I want to use something else. But this shadow is just building so nicely. I was a little bit worried at first when I started putting it down because it looked a little bit patchy, but the more I'm putting this on, the better it looks. And I love when I can build on a purple because a lot of purples seem to be really hard to build on, and once you put it down in a spot, like if you try to go over that again, like it just won't stick to your eye. But I don't feel like that with this shadow, and that makes me so happy. So I think I'm also going to kind of run this through my crease a little bit, just like right underneath where I put down the pink to just deepen that part up. So just out of curiosity, like what is you guys' favorite color story from Jeffree Star? I think for me, I would probably have to say the Jawbreaker palette just because it has so many options of things that you can do. But I also really like the Alien palette because of how unique and different it is. And that's one of the reasons why I think I'm going to really like this one as well, because it's just, I feel like this color story is maybe a little bit challenging, you know, because it has a lot of kind of different and unique shades, and it's not like the most obvious color story to work with unless you do very obvious neutral looks or something like that. But I don't really feel like there's any look that's like, you know how with some palettes like everybody ends up doing the same look? Like I don't feel like this palette is that, but I would love to know what your favorite color story from Jeffree Star is and why. And I think just because I love black so much, I'm gonna go into the black down here, which is called My Rights here, and I love that because I Uber everywhere. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use this same brush. This is a Raffer brush, and I know that a lot of you probably don't know about these if you're new to my channel, but these brushes aren't currently available, which is why I don't really mention them, but they will be available in December if you would like to purchase one, because this is like my favorite eyeshadow brush of all time. It's just like the perfect size for my small little hooded eyes here. And this black, oh my god, like that is so nice. That was so easy. Like I feel like I was talking for 10 seconds and the black was already on and blended. Like that is, oh, I love Jeffree Star's blacks. The one in the Alien palette is one of my favorite blacks in my collection. So I'm having a little bit of fallout with this black, just like the tiniest amount, but I think I should be able to just dust that off. I'm seeing a little bit still left on my cheek, but I think if I just go in with a little bit of highlighter, it should be okay. So I think what I'm gonna do next, I feel like this is just kind of coming to me as I'm going along. Is my black blended all the way? I feel like it might not be. Okay, let's move on. I think I'm gonna go into Illuminati, which is this shadow right here. This is the beautiful, is this a duochrome? I don't think so. It's just like a dark green shimmer, but it's absolutely stunning. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that basically on the outer part of my lid and kind of cover it over that black, but just kind of use the black to blend it into the black. And I'm not gonna do a cut crease or anything because I do want to see how these shimmers perform like without having to cut the crease, just so I can see how opaque they are and stuff. So, oh my god, that's absolutely beautiful. I don't know what I was expecting, but not this. That's really, really pretty. So I'm just gonna kind of place that in the middle of my lid here and then start blending it into the black. And I'm just gently tapping the brush over the edges here, just so I can kind of get a little bit of a blend of this into my crease, but I also don't want to really overblend here. But I think that color combination is absolutely beautiful. So I think before I finish off with my lid here, I don't really know what I want to do yet, so I'm going to go ahead and start on my lower lash line. And I think what I want to do is I want to go in with the black again and just wrap that around, and then I'll find another shade to kind of blend out the black with when we get to that point. So I'm just going to take my Morphe M149 brush here and just, wow, that is so pigmented. Like I just cannot get over that. I'm going to pop this on like the outer third of my lower lash line or so. And I'm trying to keep this like kind of focused because I don't want this black to get out of hand, because it is, like I said, very, very pigmented, like in the best way possible. Like I love my shadows to be super pigmented, so I'm never going to complain when I find a shadow that's more pigmented than I expected, you know? So I'm not sure where I was when my camera shut off. I'm so sorry about that. I'm sure it wasn't important because I'm just rambling anyway. For the outer part of my lower lash line here that I want to use to blend out with, I'm gonna go into Diet Root Beer, which is kind of like a soft brown. And I'm first going to start by placing that in the inner portion of my lower lash line here and then pulling it outwards, just until I meet it up with that black. And then I'm gonna kind of take it underneath the black as well and just kind of blend those colors in together. And honestly, with the way that these mattes are performing, I am so excited to start playing with this more and doing my 10 look video, because sometimes when I'm about to start my 10 look videos, I'm a little bit like, I don't know if I want to do 10 more looks with this palette, like it's just not that fun to work with and stuff. Probably the one that I had the most issues with was the Riviera palette. I did not get along with that palette at all. I don't know if it's just me and the ABH formula that don't get along, but I did not have the best time playing with that, but I already know that I'm going to have a very good time playing with this palette, so that makes me very excited. And let me know if you have any requests for looks that I'm going to do in my video. I never usually ask for that, but if there's any color combinations or anything that you want to see me do let me know, because I'll be reading all of the comments obviously as usual, and since I am going to have this video up first, I might as well ask. So I think what I'm going to do next, I actually have a plan for once, is I'm going to go into Conspiracy and I'm going to place that shadow on the rest of my lid here as well as the first part of my lower lash line. And then I think I want to take my concealer base here, or eyeshadow base, and pop a little bit of that into my inner corner just so I can get like a tacky base there. And then I'm going to go into this neon green yellow shade, which is called Food Vibes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and hopefully that's going to finish off the look very nicely. I really feel like this is going to come together. I mean, I feel like I'm already happy with this look, except for the fallout that I have on my face, which is not ideal. I'm gonna try to clean that up after, but let me go ahead and finish off my eyes so we can see how everything looks together. Okay, so this is where we're at now. I'm not like majorly impressed by that yellow shade. I mean, obviously in the pan it looks a lot brighter and more cool tone, but I feel like this is the kind of shadow that you need to just pack on top of a white base on top of a cut crease or something for it to really be able to show up true to color. Because even when I packed it on top of like a wet base here that wasn't white, it's definitely showing up a lot more warm tone and just like yellow than it is bright and neon, but that's totally fine. I mean, I still think it's like a good shadow. It's just not what I was expecting. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my eyes. So I'm gonna pop something in my waterline. I'm gonna try to clean up this fallout, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you my, I guess, first impression thoughts on this palette. And I also really love this lipstick. I don't know if I'm going to keep it on or if I'm going to switch, but I'll be right back and you'll see in a second. So here's the final look all done, and I really love it. I'm kind of obsessed, if I'm being honest. For my waterline, I used Freak by Urban Decay because I just wanted to kind of pull in some of that green into my waterline, and I think that works very well. As for the lipstick, I decided to just keep it on because I am going to film some lip swatches with these lipsticks afterwards, so I was like, why would I take it off just to put it back on, you know? So this is going to be the completed look. As for my thoughts on this palette, honestly, I'm so impressed. The only thing that kind of let me down, if you will, was the yellow, but like everything just like built and blended and performed beautifully. Like I said, I can't wait to play more with this palette. Let me know if you were able to get your hands on this. I know the launch day was absolutely crazy for everybody, so if you did, you're very lucky because I think you are going to love this palette. And also, like I said, let me know if you have any suggestions or if there's anything that you would like to see me do with this palette in my upcoming 10 looks. I would love your input because it will make it a little bit easier for me to know like where to aim my attention in this palette, even though I'll be playing with all of them obviously. But yeah, that's gonna be it for my little first impression video. If you want to see some other content that I have on my channel, I'll pop a few up on the screen so you can go check those out. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.